You know Lil Juke made it.
Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hey. And if you are not, welcome back. What's up? Okay, so as you guys read by the title, yeah, it's true. I am pregnant, and I guess today I'm gonna just let you know how I found out and stuff. Okay, so how did I find out? So basically, well, first of all, I am currently 5 months pregnant, 5.5 months pregnant, and be 6 months. In like a week, I'll be like 6 months. So basically, when I found out I was pregnant on, well, January 6th, I went to my friend's house, and like we was having like a little like get together, like a little girls night get together. So it was just like my coworker, this girl I used to work with, my friend who was also my coworker, and me. So it was only like 4 of us there, and we was just chilling, you know. It was some drinks. It was some drinks and they was doing hookah. I almost died when I tried the hookah, so I don't mess with none of that. So they was doing hookah. They was, you know, just like, you know, chilling, whatever. Chilling, listening to music, playing games, you know, cute little girls night or whatever. We had ordered some food. We ordered sharks. Only thing I get from sharks is catfish. So I just wanted some catfish. And so I got some catfish nuggets. We ordered the food. First of all, food didn't get there till, so we probably ordered the food at like 7. Food didn't get there till like, no, not even 7. I don't know what time we ordered the food, but we ordered the food at one time and didn't get the food till hours later. Don't know what that was about. We got the food. Our food was cold. We got a refund. Then we got the food. Food was cold. Food was just, you know, but we still ate it. So I ate the catfish nuggets, and I ain't had catfish. I haven't had catfish nuggets in a while. So I ate them, and then the next day we were all back at work, and I didn't feel good. Like my stomach was just hurting. So then I asked my friend, like, friend, your stomach been feeling weird? She like, yeah, my stomach been messed up all day, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, everything's completely normal. Like, it's probably something that we ate, but I don't have a bad stomach. My stomach does not react to things like badly. My stomach is like good. I have a strong stomach. I never, you know, like if something make my stomach messed up, it's because it's not done or it's bad, like something is wrong with it. So I'm thinking, okay, it's normal because her stomach messed up too. So it's probably just something that had to do with the catfish or whatever. So then that whole week go past. My stomach is still hurting. My stomach been hurting that whole week, and not hurting like ow, but like it just was upset. Yeah, it was just upset. So I'm sitting there, and my stomach, like I just felt nauseous, but I wasn't throwing up. I just felt nauseous. So I'm still blaming it on there. So I do research or whatever. First of all, Google is telling me everything that Google was telling me, like everything that they're diagnosing me with, all the symptoms say pregnant. Like nausea, pregnant. Like whatever else I was feeling at the time, I can't remember. Pregnant, everything was pointing to pregnant, and literally it's just going in one ear out the other. I'm not paying no attention to that because I'm thinking, okay, I'm not pregnant, whatever. So everybody at my job, so I end up like having to leave work early. Some days I would leave work early, I would call off, like I would just not be myself. My personality wasn't there, and it was all because my stomach was making me sick. Like I was sick the whole month of January. I was sick, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I was thinking I had alcohol poisoning. And I didn't even drink that much alcohol, but what it was they had Patron there. I don't drink light liquor. I don't really like drinking light liquor because it's disgusting. So, unless it's fruity. So, I had took, like, I had a whole cup of something, and then we took shots. So I was just thinking I had alcohol poisoning, and then something that I had drank it like juice. Like, I drank it fast and everything, so I'm thinking it was alcohol poisoning. But like, more and more time went on, I just kept feeling like terrible. Like, I just had to, like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I don't even know what to say. It was just so bad. It was so bad. I was sick. I didn't want to do nothing. I kept telling my mama my stomach hurt. I kept telling my managers my stomach hurt. Everything I just didn't want to do anything. I wanted to stay in the bed. So then my friend, like, literally all my coworkers said, "You're pregnant. You're pregnant. You're pregnant." My child's father, he was like, he didn't say you're pregnant. He was like, "You need to take a pregnancy test." And I was like, "No, I'm not pregnant." Now let me tell you why I thought I wasn't pregnant for sure. Because all of the tests that we had in the past, all of the tests that I took in the past, negative. Like, I've been like messing with this dude for a long time, so like every time we thought, it was negative. So I just knew, God was sparing me one more time, and I wasn't even worried about that. But he kept saying it, like, "You need to take a test, you need to take a test." And normally he just like, because he didn't think I was either, but he was like, "You need to take one to be on the safe side." But normally he's like, "You know, you'll be okay, like, you're not pregnant." So sorry, we had a breath over here. Okay, so I'm like, no. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a test. So a few more days went past. And he kept asking me, "Did you take one? Did you take one?" I'm like, "Nah." Then my coworker was like, "Did you take one?" I'm like, "No, not yet. I'm gonna go when I get off. I'm gonna go this time. I'm gonna go that time. Blah 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 blah." So I ended up never going to take a test. I was just too like inconvenient. So then finally one day we was getting off work. It was real late, and I was with my friend, because we had both just got off. She was like, "I'm taking you to the store, and we're gonna buy you a pregnancy test, so just follow me." So she drove in her car, I drove in my car, so I followed her to the store, and we in there. She bought a test or whatever. She bought a test for me or whatever, and I'm like, okay, like, it's still not phasing me or nothing. I'm not scared, I'm not shocked, none of that. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna take this test. It's not my first go around. Like, I'm finna get negative, and then once I get a negative pregnancy test, I'm gonna go to the doctor and see, like, is this alcohol poisoning? Because I don't really, like, I was just feeling so bad. Like, I just like, my personality is normally really bubbly and everything, and I'm always, happy, smiling, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I just was acting like a Grinch. Like, I just was just like, like, it was just horrible. I didn't want to do nothing. So then that night I had the test. She's like, "Call me as soon as you take it. Don't take it tonight, take it in the morning." So they just like, don't take it. She was like, "Don't take it tonight, take it in the morning, so that you'll get like fresh results with your fresh urine and all this other stuff." So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get home, I go to sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, and I always wake up in the middle of the night to pee. So I'm thinking, let me just take this test, get it over with. So I took the test. I got them upstairs, but I don't remember what brand the test was that I think it was CVS brand though, because we went to CVS. I'm sure it was CVS brand. So I went to the bathroom to take the test, and the test loaded like really fast. Like really fast, like a blink of an eye. Like it didn't waste no time. It was like 2 lines, but I was like half asleep, so I looked at it and it looked like one line meant negative, 2 lines meant positive. So it looked like one line, and like the second line would like be faded a little bit or whatever. The second line was like faded a little bit, but you know, that's how it always was with like tests. So like I was so used to the test being, you know, negative, that I wasn't even thinking this could mean positive. So I wrapped it up or whatever, because I had it from my peoples. So I wrapped it up or whatever, and I just put it back in my room, because that's just what I do, and I just had to throw it away somewhere else. So I just wrapped it up in my room, and then I went to bed. No, I didn't even go back to bed. I just got back into the bed. Yeah, I got back into the bed, under my covers, lights off, everything. Like it was like I was like finna go back to bed. Then I just got to thinking, that line that was faded looked very not faded by the time I put it in the bag. So I hop up, get on my phone, and start Googling that brand and what a positive test from that brand looked like. They was giving me no help at all. So something told me to just turn on the light, look at it again, see what it said. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hop up, look at it again. I'm like, literally, like, once I saw it, there was no more faded lines, baby. It was 2 lines on there. Immediately, like, you're pregnant. That thing said, hello, you're pregnant. So literally, I was sitting on the edge of the bed just like this. I was like, it was like literally, like, you know how in movies the whole world be stopping and you don't hear nothing? I mean, it was nothing anyway, because it was like 3 in the morning, but the whole world stopped. I didn't hear nothing, because I just could not believe that this actually happened to me. Like, I couldn't believe that it happened to me. I couldn't believe that I was gonna go through this. I couldn't believe that this was just a positive test in front of me. Like, I'm like, gee. So then after like 10 minutes of me just like staring into outer space and not knowing what was going on, I just started bawling, crying tears, like real tears, like like real tears. Like it was like I'm 8 years old and I got a whooping for doing something and lying about it. Like, it was horrible. Like, it was like I just couldn't stop crying. Like, I couldn't get myself to stop crying. I'm choking on words and everything. And then finally I stopped crying, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to go back to sleep after this. So I called my friend, because like I said, it's like 2 o'clock going on 3. No, it's like 3 o'clock. It's something in the morning. So it's like early in the wee hours of the night, in the morning. Ain't nobody up. I didn't want to wake nobody up. I don't know. I just was scared. So it was only one person I knew that was gonna be up at that time, just up, just doing nothing. So I called my friend. We're not gonna say his name, but I called my friend, and he answered. He like, what? Like I was bothering him or something. And mind you, I'm sitting there, face red, not crying no more, but face red, eyes puffy, everything. I'm like, are you by yourself? In a regular voice. I'm like, are you by yourself? He's like, yeah. I'm like, am I free to talk? He's like, yeah. So I started bawling, crying again, because I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth. So I'm like, took a pregnancy test and it came back positive. He like, what? I'm like, I took a pregnancy test and it came back positive. I'm not able to talk. And he like, oh, for real? Yes. Oh, yes. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, still crying and everything. I'm like, Mouse. Oh, I just said his name. Oh well. I'm like, Mouse, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And so he's talking to me about it, and then he like, dang, that's crazy. We was just talking about da 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 da. Cause I also was just hanging out with him too, and we went out to eat, and I couldn't eat nothing. We went to a Mexican place. I love Mexican food. I love tacos. I love quesadillas. I love nachos. I love all that. We just went out to eat. I couldn't eat nothing from the Mexican place. Nothing at all. Nope. And we was talking about if I was, because everybody was telling me that I was. And so he was like, dang, that's just crazy. We was just talking about it, and now you are. And he was telling me like it's gonna be okay or whatever. So then, you know, he got me to stop crying, and we was talking. Then he had to get off the phone, unfortunately, because his mom wanted to talk to him or something. I mean, it's whatever. I thought I was gonna be okay and just be able to go back to sleep. So we got off the phone. And I couldn't, like, one thing that me and my child's father just don't do is we don't keep secrets. Even if we don't tell each other, we tell each other eventually. We don't keep secrets. So it was really hard for me not to say anything to him, but I did not want to tell him that night because he had a huge test in the morning, and it was like I needed him to do good on this test, especially now that I'm in the predicament that I was in. I needed him to do good on this test. But I started crying again. I could not stop crying once again. So I'm like, okay, let me just call him. And then, you know, like, I shouldn't have called him, but I was like, let me just call him. And then, you know, because I just needed to. So I called him. As soon as he answered the phone, I sound like I'm in a pool of water drowning. Like, I could not stop crying. And he's like, what's wrong? Da, 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 da. He's like, baby, what's wrong? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I couldn't talk. He like, you okay? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. And I'm just still crying. Now, mind you, I'm pregnant. So, So, the emotion was like times 10. It was like times 12. So me regularly crying versus me being pregnant crying was like a huge difference. It was like a huge difference. So I'm crying. He just not understanding why I'm crying so hard. Now he's like, he hopped up, mind you, it's like the wee hours in the morning. Like, he's like, what's wrong? So then I told him, I said, I took a pregnancy test, and I'm like, I'm pregnant as if. And he was like, damn. He was like, damn. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, it's okay. Like, literally, like, this is a whole different side of what I had to deal with later. But he was like, it's okay, we could get through it, whatever you want to do, I support you 1,000%, blah blah blah. Just, he was saying some cute stuff. I think he was just trying to get me to stop crying though, but he was just like, it's like, whatever you want to do, I support you 1,000%, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm saying literally everything bad. Like, all these bad things are coming out of my mouth and stuff like that. And so then that's when he was like, I don't know, we spent like the next hour or two talking on the phone about it, about if we had it. We were saying some good things, we were saying some bad things, we were saying some realistic things, how are we gonna take care of it and everything of that nature. And then we just started leaning towards abortion because I just didn't want it. I just didn't want it. Now, I didn't want to tell anybody about, I told people, like my close, like people who like closest to me, like the person who bought me the test, Miles, my baby daddy, and my mom. That's it. Those are the only people I told when I first found out. When I first found out, kind of found out I was 7 weeks. When I found out I was pregnant, I was already 7 weeks pregnant. That was crazy. So I told my mom because I didn't know what to do, honestly. And like anybody who knows me and my mom's relationship, it wasn't all that, it wasn't hot. I wouldn't tell my mom anything. So before I told her I was pregnant, now I would tell her everything, but I wouldn't tell my mom anything. So it was really hard when I told her that I was pregnant but I told her because I wanted to get an abortion. I was just thinking like, dang, I can't do this. I can't take care of a kid. I don't want to have a kid right now. I was like, I got like a whole life and I didn't fell into the stereotype of having a baby and I'm not married. This is just not what I wanted for myself. But obviously, you know, God found a different path. So let me tell you how I told my mom. So the huge test that he had to take that morning, basically he passed, and now he has this new job which we didn't know how that was gonna go, but he was telling me like it was gonna require him to have to be gone a lot, and we didn't know like what his schedule would be. We didn't know where he was gonna be at. We didn't know none of that. So me already being emotional and pregnant, I told my mom that he passed his test and he's gonna be gone, and I just started crying. I'm getting emotional now. I just started crying because like I was telling her and she was telling me like, you know, it's okay that he finna be gone. This could be your turn to get your life together and, you know, like really focus on yourself while he's gone. Like my mom was just telling me, you know, some boss woman stuff. And I just broke down crying and she was like, girl, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I couldn't stop crying again. It was so bad. And this was like a week after I found out. Maybe not even a week, maybe like 4 days, because I also told my grandmother. My grandma was supposed to help me tell my mom because nobody wanted to tell my mom. Nobody wanted to tell my mom. So my grandma was supposed to help me tell my mom, but I ended up telling her like this because I couldn't stop crying. So I laid on the bed. I was laying on the bed. I really just needed her to hold me. Maybe I wouldn't have spilled it like this if she would have just held me, but she didn't. So I was laying on the bed. I was kicking my feet. I was really having like a temper tantrum because she was like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like she was acting like I was just crazy. And I was like, Mama. She was like, what? And I was like, I'm having a baby. And she was like, I knew it. Like, you knew it. Girl, didn't know nothing. I'm really getting emotional right now. I see it in my face. But she was like, she knew it, and then like immediately after that, she got on me. Like, she was not like bad stuff, but she was like, you need to go to school, you're gonna stay here until you finish school. She was telling me she was gonna help me with the baby while I was in school. And I was like, Mom, I don't want it. Mom, I want it aborted. I don't want it for sure. I was like, I don't want it for sure. Nobody knew at the time besides her, my grandma, my baby daddy, Miles, and my friend from work. Those 5 people could live with knowing that I got an abortion because I'm all really close to them. So I was like, I don't want it. She was like, why? I was like, because. And then when she said why, and I said because, I couldn't think of nothing reasonable to say that was gonna make that make sense. Because when I think about it, why do I want an abortion? And the only thing I could think of were selfish reasons, was that I don't want one. Because maybe they need a new job, plus my mom helping us financially, plus me going to school and, you know, getting something to take care of the baby or whatever. Like, we can take care of, like, we're not going to struggle. It's not gonna be a piece of cake, but we're not going to struggle. We're not going to, like, it's not gonna be hard, it's not gonna be crazy, you know. Like, I was just thinking, like, why don't I? Besides the fact that, you know, selfish reasons. Everything I was saying, she was coming after. Like, I was like, Ma, I can't do it. Why not? Well, because I don't have anything. Get you something. Like, my mom was just like, she was on me, and my grandma did the same thing, and I didn't have anything to say when they were doing that. And I was just like, okay. So that really depicted my decision to keep my baby. That, and the fact that I waited too long, and I got really attached to the thought of me being a mom. I got really attached to, like, me carrying a baby. And, like, because I love babies, I love kids, like, all that. So I got really attached to that thought, and I just, like, wanted to keep the baby after that. Like, I low-key wanted to, but I kept telling my child's father that I was still on the fence about the abortion, because he wanted it. After a while, he wanted the abortion really bad, but he only wanted it for selfish reasons too. So it's like, yeah, we both wanted so much better for ourselves when we had a kid, so that we could give the kid so much more. But I feel like God did this to us for a reason. God put this in my plan, so I'm just gonna do it. And I mean, I was just gonna go through with it, and honestly, like, I feel really good. I feel really good about my decision. I know it's gonna be hard when the kid gets here, but we'll let it be. We'll cross that bridge when we get here. So that concludes this story time. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you watched to the end. I really hope you'll subscribe. Please be sure to like, comment, and once again, subscribe and turn on those post notifications, so that you'll be notified every time that I make a video. And due to this video being this topic and everything, you will get more videos. You will get more videos. I will be consistent this time on YouTube. I promise. I say this, everybody who knows me knows that I say this a lot. I will be consistent on YouTube, but I promise I will be consistent on YouTube this time, for real.